I never know how to start these videos. I'd say hi. And, you know, there's something that I'm kind of missing when I do these. And that is to emphasize, I think, the consistency of certain things that happen all the time. I mention them, but I don't actually say it. So I'll go right back to when I was aware that I was under attack. That was after my no, I was where I was being hacked. I was under attack before he tried to kill me. We was in the hotel. And yeah, all my files was just going missing. My friends were acting funny. I mean, chances are it weren't even my friends that I was talking to, because they had all these fake accounts with the same names as my friends. And when I say they infiltrated every section of my life, and being that it was my ex, it was very easy for them to do it. Steal my identity. You know, how do you hide your things away from, you know, someone that you're living with? I mean, they would have to be, I mean, you always assume they had that honesty, and what on earth would they want with my stuff? Yet this girl plagued me. Plagued me. See, my head wants to jump to being when I got away from the sight board and I went to my friends, only to find out. And I spoke to my dad on the phone, and he said to me, "What did you mean the other day about, yeah, I've got to get back to work?" And I said, "I don't work, Dad." He goes, "I know, and I just wondered what you meant. I just wondered what you was doing then." And I said, "Listen, I haven't spoken to you," and he did say it was on Facebook. I said, "I haven't spoken to you on Facebook for over a year. So whoever you was talking to, it wasn't me." So this is when I asked him, "Can you go to the police and report this? Because, you know, this is going on too long." I mean, this was 2019 that I was actually speaking to my dad. But I suppose this is the point that he got roped in on it. I would assume, I don't know, maybe he was there before and I don't know. Anyway, this is the sort of thing that they was doing with my Facebook, and they wanted to find out all about me. So they was making out they was me, asking questions to people that knew me about me. I mean, or, you know, this is one of their ways of isolating me, is to insult all my friends as if I'm me. So my friends don't want to talk to me anymore. And I'm not being funny, the rate that people were dying around me and being killed, I was kind of glad that my friends stopped talking to me. So I didn't make any attempt, because they was either roped in, they was either paid or killed. There was no, I don't think there was any in between. And I didn't want to get anybody that well involved. So yeah, my friends would direct me to other friends. So I knew straight away that they was involved. But it was better, you know, not to try and suss these things out and just stay away from my friends. Stay away from people in general. Because I don't want to feel, I know I'm not responsible for their deaths. But I feel it. Anyway, I don't want to spend too long in Fifth Avenue at this yeah, so anyway, when I realised the extent of the attack is when I went back to get my life, to get my Facebook, to get my banking apps, to get my phone that they'd stolen, that had access to everything, because I couldn't stop nothing. And no one would listen to me. So, you know, getting a new phone wasn't the answer. The police wouldn't help me. I'm being stalked and goodness knows what else. And you know what? Leaving people to sneak up on you isn't the greatest thing. So in my mind, it was better to keep my enemies closer. So I went back with my ex. And I was going to solve this thing. I was going to solve it all. And yeah, I kind of did, in a way. I found out what they was doing. So yeah, what they was doing, and I'm getting back on it, is this consistency. Stalked, followed, hacked. Hidden cameras, filming my every move, recording every word. Poisoning my food, drugging my drinks, battery acid in my face, screwing my cheeks down. I've got tiny little screws in my face that I can't get out. They've burnt. Oh, you could see the scars. All over. And these two here. It's better than my last phone. Anyway, after, I don't know how many, yeah, the theme. I was forced, or encouraged at first, to leave the house every month. So I knew there was a monthly thing going on. They wanted me out of the house to collect whatever it was that was mine that I didn't know about. When I got back to London and I left, that's when I found out I was being beaten and raped every night by my ex's poly group. I mean, he looked so respectable to me. But, yeah, he didn't say an awful lot. So, and I can't lie, I liked the fact that he didn't say a lot. I liked the fact that he was at the house most of the time. I like my own space and I love my privacy, and to have it invaded was the most disgusting, heart-wrenching thing. Awful. Anyway, in the end, I left. Every single device hacked. all my files, photos destroyed, my friends being contacted and insulted. And then I went home, and instead of it getting better, it got worse. And I found out through the database. I could run and get my phone and show you now. I'll show you at the end. But yeah, on a database, they was talking about, yes, they can follow me everywhere I go. They know where I am no matter where I go. I mean, I really was a prisoner. Isolated. No help from the police. I got my neighbour downstairs to call the police for me. And they did turn up. And they just reassured me that, no, if there was cameras, it would have to be big enough to have a battery. And I said, listen, I know that that is a load of rubbish. Well, it must have a power source. I said, yeah, well, they have plenty of ways of... But yeah, they wouldn't look into it. And I told them about my mail not arriving. I told them about the bank and this business account. Didn't want to know about any of it. They said, well, when they change your address at the bank, then let us know. And I think that was really for me to think that they were stupid. But no, it was way too stupid. And it kind of told me that they was involved. And it was clarified by the fact that my neighbour downstairs, they went down to my neighbour before they left. And then all of a sudden, my friend's getting luxury curtains. My neighbour downstairs, directly underneath me. People following me everywhere. I couldn't call anybody. I mean, I was trying to shut my credit cards down. I was making appointments and then they were calling back and cancelling the appointments. But of course it wasn't them, it was their little group. Their team, as she called it. Infiltrating every aspect of my life. There was absolutely nothing they left alone. Cameras in my house, in my bathroom. My neighbours following me about. Suddenly getting all these expensive things. People coming in, taking my letters, things that I've written. Poisoning my stuff, putting stuff in my face creams and my shampoos. Poison or drugs in my coffee, hot chocolate, sugar. And this still goes on to this day. This still happens. I am attacked every single night. And this is the latest burn. I don't know. If you can get a closer look where you can actually see where they're putting things into my skin. I mean, I'm literally scarred everywhere. Everywhere. All over my back, shoulders, face, my legs. I have scars everywhere. This is 7 years. This is when I found out. Obviously, it went on an awful lot longer, and, you know, the same sort of things that I noticed years and years ago, I kind of made an excuse for in my head. Because why would the government want to target me? Why would these... Because it is, I mean, this is cyber custody. Unlawful, illegal. I have a clean criminal record. Yeah, I've had that every single night for 7 years. Now, I forget to say these things, so I made a couple of bullet points. No explanations. I'm not going into that. Just find out where it goes. But yeah, my neighbours. Well, once I found out that they was in every device and they was in this, in that, I got no internet, I got no phones, and I went without a phone for about 2 years. About a year and a half. I think it was coming up to 2 years by the time I actually got a phone. And I'd left London, I'd given up by then. I had my social worker breaking into my house. People coming round from the hospital. People pretending to be my GP. I mean, my GP, I might not have actually got the opportunity. I've been with him for nearly like 4 or 5 years now. I can't even remember. And I haven't seen him once. They won't give me an appointment to see him. But I do know, because I asked what he looks like, and he has grey hair. And I have seen him before. And he does look sort of English, you know, like that fair skin, kind of elderly. I wouldn't say elderly, but then that's because perhaps I'm getting there. But yeah, grey hair. He had grey hair when I saw him years ago. But this doctor, pretending to be Dr. Morris, was an Indian guy with jet black hair. And he came to tell me that St Pancras Hospital was extremely concerned about my mental health. And I more or less told him where he could take it, and very politely. And when I say they invaded every part of my life, I'm not even joking about it. You know, these people can walk into anywhere. I've been dragged out of hotels, or hotels giving them access to me at night. Anyway, after travelling all around the UK trying to find somewhere safe, doesn't exist, unfortunately, because these government agencies are way too good at what they do. I'm not saying that what they do is good, because it's absolutely disgusting. The abuse of power. Yeah, it's disgusting. Disgusting. Anyway, I came here and I'm toying with the idea of getting the internet. I thought at least I'll have my own password and whatnot, and even if it's just for a short amount of time, maybe it'll work. I'd been here about a year. Still being attacked. Every single night. Oh, look. The police over there. They're always over there, looking up here, planning some sort of harassment. which is they do. The neighbour's over there, and then I've got, like I said, someone come to the door, and it was £12 odd for the internet, and I thought, well, it's worth a try, I'll try that one. So I booked the appointment. It was a week later. The guy turns up. He said, oh, I only had one other job. I went to him first. It's your neighbour. He's having the internet put on as well. Why he should decide to get the internet fitted on the same day. He's selling the flat. It's up for sale. It don't really make any sense. Anyway, he comes in and he fits up mine, and it don't work. So he had to go into next door twice, maybe even 3 times, to sort out the wiring. What he was actually doing was syncing my internet to theirs, not to theirs. Giving them access to my internet is basically what it was. Like, I'm paying for it, but it's their internet, is what he's done, basically. I mean, they was in my stuff immediately. You can tell all the devices go red hot. I must have had about 20 odd people in my devices the moment I put my internet on. And of course, straight away they're downloading their third-party open source licenses. So, I don't know. I have the internet, which they have complete control of. Cameras in my house again. The police in and out of everywhere around me. I mean, when I was at my old address, where I had been for years, when I first came back, I even had helicopters shining a spotlight into my front room every single night around about 8 o'clock. Everywhere I went in London, there was a helicopter overhead. I mean, it's ridiculous. And if it wasn't for the fact that I know, I would have thought that I'm getting paranoid. But I know. I knew to the extent that I was expecting it. I have call forwarding jammed on every single device that I have, so I can't contact anybody. Like I said, when I first came back down to London, I couldn't contact anybody, and then they had lockdown. I mean, that totally, you know, I'm totally isolated. I'm disabled. I'm being poisoned and drugged, attacked. Police won't do nothing. I have all these things going on. In the middle of lockdown, I had my money stopped through lack of contact. And me being disabled is supposed to stop them from doing it, but it didn't. And I was forced onto universal credit, which is against the rules to be forced onto there. It took me months to get it all set up. And then they sanctioned me for 3 months. Then I was called a liar because you actually have to be warned before they sanction you. I mean, one appointment, I actually turned up and they sanctioned me because they said that I left too early. I mean, really? She said, absolutely, it's against they wouldn't do it. Well, it actually has it in black and white on my universal credit thing. I mean, I was being attacked by everything. Needless to say, I had parking tickets everywhere. They smashed my window, stole my blue badge. I have trackers on my car. Cameras inside my car recording everything that I say. I know, because when I was kind of just drifting about and I didn't know where to go and I knew I weren't safe in hotels, I weren't safe at home, and I just left Blackpool, and conversions like Sweeney Todd. They were coming in through the ceiling, under my bed, through a mirror on the wall, like a wardrobe door, which actually was a door from next door, that they couldn't get to me like I was when I was with my ex, with everybody just wanting to stay at mine, or getting me out the house and everybody coming round doing whatever they have to do. No, because I started to isolate myself and I didn't want to speak to anyone. So then they get my neighbours. They all have a party, and they're always a party. Big gathering. My neighbours, both sides. Probably upstairs and downstairs as well. Exactly the same as what it was at my old address. So I'm completely isolated. And I mean, during lockdown, I even went to the Microsoft building because I knew this was, you know, affecting my internet. It's putting my internet. I couldn't get to the web pages I wanted, and it actually had a web kit or web catalogue. So they have their own thing to make you think that you're searching for what you're searching for, but in actual fact, you're only seeing what they want you to see. You know, I phone up for a solicitor and the team answer the phone, pretending to be the solicitors that I'm calling, who never have the capacity for me to help me, even though there's human rights violations and civil rights violations. No one can help me. I mean, it's illegal not to help. You know, it's actually, you know. But yeah, I went to the Microsoft buildings, and of course nobody was going to help me because it was locked down and no one was in the buildings except for the security, which is a load of rubbish, because they wouldn't need the buildings open, would they? You know, why'd they need the security? They could just lock up the building like everybody else does. But no, nobody could help me. Nobody would help me. I was kind of, and it was one time I went in there and I was speaking to the security guard, and as he walked towards me, I was deliberately standing away so as this wouldn't interfere with the phone lines, so they didn't get the team answering the phone to him, you know. And he took a few steps towards me while he was on the phone, and it cut off. And I kind of guesstimated 8 meters. 8 meters. So I couldn't even go to a friend and say, phone. I knew I couldn't touch a device. I knew I couldn't go anywhere. They was in every single device before the 8 meters. They could block calls and the internet 8 metres. It didn't stand a chance. I did ask my friend to help me. She said she would. She died of a drug overdose. I mean, she didn't take drugs. Do you know,